All right, welcome to the Krug Show meets the Cohn Zone. The 49ers are down to their 75th wide receiver. We'll talk about it right now. All right, off and running on the Krug Show. Hope everybody's having a great night. Welcome to August the 11th. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm brought to you by the Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. And they do run out, so get there early, get some brisket chili. Tell them the Krug sent you. We're also brought to you by our good friends at Clawdaddy Arcades. Oh, and like that. There it is. Clawdaddy Arcades. He's got arcades all throughout Northern California, but he's got brand new locations opening in Capitola Mall and Visalia Mall. And he's a great guy. He's a great follow on Instagram at claw_daddy_arcades to find a location near you. All right. It wouldn't be a day that ends with Y if the 49ers didn't lose a player. And today they lost Jordan Watkins. I kind of wonder, Grant, if we were even going to find out about it if we hadn't asked the right question. It came up, but I don't think it was going to be volunteered if somebody didn't say, "What's up with Jordan Watkins?" But somebody did, luckily, and Shanahan said, oh yeah, he's got a high ankle sprain. He'll be out a month. What do you make of this? I mean, this is another wide receiver lost, and at some point they're going to probably have to look outside of the Robbie Chosen lane and into a lane of a real, impactful wide receiver. Are we there yet?
Well, I think what's kind of funny is our minds instantly went to Amari Cooper. Well, I mean, even Matt Barrows brought it up, like, in the press conference today. You asked Kyle, would you consider signing Amari Cooper? And Kyle's like, well, depends on the cap space and what we can do. It seems like you could sign Amari, or you could just go and sign Jawan. I mean, Jawan wants money. I think it's pretty clear that he's holding in. When Kyle's asked about other injuries, he's pretty specific. Like, yeah, we're hoping maybe week 6, but it could be week 5. And with Jawan, they're like, we just have no clarity on that one. So it seems like maybe Jawan's leverage just got a little bit stronger right now. If you want a wide receiver, he's hanging around. I don't know. They don't want to pay him clearly, but what choice do they have?
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, is it an ankle? Is it not an ankle? I mean, I'm on record as saying if he comes back without a contract, then it's the ankle. But if he comes back after he signs a contract, then it's or the calf, I should say. Is it the calf or is it the cash? If he comes back without an extension or any kind of a raise, then maybe it is the calf. But if he comes back after he gets more money, then I find it hard to believe that it's the calf. So I just don't believe. He looked like he was in great shape right before he left. It could be a calf thing. Shanahan has said it has shown up like on the imaging. So, I mean, it's like plausible deniability. I'm not sure.
It's like technically he has a calf injury, but is it a no timetable type of calf injury? Probably not.
Do they have a reason to be evasive with this at all?
Because I think they don't want the drama. If they acknowledge that he's holding in, then that's the number one topic in camp. They don't want that. And he may not want it either, because there's a chance that he doesn't get what he wants, and he would look weak if he just comes back to the team after not getting his extension. So maybe it's in both of their interests to keep it quiet for now. But Richard Sherman came to the facility. He's good friends with Jawan. He went on his podcast and was like, I have a pretty good feeling that if the Niners were just give Jawan what he wants, he'd be on the practice field that day.
Something tells me he might have spoken to the source.
Maybe.
But
I want to say something about these injuries.
Yeah,
they suck. I mean, it's not every day it's someone else, but let's take a step back for a second. The Chargers lost Rashawn Slater. That's a much bigger deal. The Eagles lost Landon Dickerson. He tore his meniscus. That's a much bigger deal. So it's not ideal that Jordan Watkins is going to miss a month. He needs reps, but he'll be back. He might miss week 1. He could be there for week 1. I think it's a brutal sport, and the Niners have had some bad luck, but I think they've also had some good luck depending on how you look at it. None of these injuries have been season enders yet. They're still going to be okay when healthy, and they could get healthy by like week 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like today, there were 15 Niners that didn't practice, and this is not the guys on the IR, PUP, or NFI. These are just the rest of the guys. But like Renardo Green's a starter, but it's a hamstring, but he's supposed to be back. Jennings is a calf, but he's supposed to be back. Watkins is supposed to be back within a month. Cowing, they say, is coming back tomorrow. The Stout injury is not considered serious. So, I mean, Givens, I guess, Kevin Givens with his pec is probably the most serious injury they've suffered. So, is it that they're just in a numbers crunch now, but they're still sitting pretty comfortable? Or do you think that this depth or lack of depth is going to be like the issue that, derails them?
See, that's the issue to me. Not necessarily training camp injuries, but what are they revealing? It seems to reveal that this Niners team is lacking depth in ways that the 2022 or the 2023 49ers weren't. And I think that's probably to be expected, considering they gave Brock Purdy this franchise record contract extension, and they had to make some, concessions, some cuts to make it fit. And the fits, well, it's not just the Brock extension. That's kind of disingenuous. I think it goes back to the Trey Lance trade. You spent 3 firsts and a third on nothing, essentially. And although Brock Purdy stepped up and you have a quarterback and he's really good, you lost 3 firsts and a third. That's your depth. That could have been so many different starters, but you don't have that. So I think you're kind of haunted by that to an extent.
That's interesting. I just don't, I look at the big name receivers. I mean, Matt threw out Amari Cooper. I just don't know what Amari Cooper has left. Other people have thrown out Terry McLaurin. He's expensive. Tyreek Hill, he's expensive. I don't know if those are realistic names. The name that to me is intriguing, especially since they just picked up Nair from the Niners and they've got all these extra receivers, is Romeo Doubs. He's a West Coast guy. He went to Nevada. He's a free agent at the end of the year. It sounds like they're on the verge of probably either cutting him or giving him away for a day 3 pick. They got a bunch of receivers. They keep adding more. To me, like a Romeo Doubs trade would be what I would. To me, that's what I'm hoping for as far as a receiver, because I don't know that the Robbie Chosens of the world are going to be able to get it done. The Russell Gages of the world are going to be able to get it done. And I don't think they have the right package or the right timing to go get like a Tyreek Hill or a McLaurin. I think they got to aim much lower. So, I mean, to me, a Romeo Doubs would be nice. I don't know if Green Bay would help out, but that's the kind of receiver. I mean, they got serious issues. I'm watching the Jets right now against Green Bay. Malachi Corley probably doesn't have a spot on this team, and he's very Debo-like. Yeah. I could see him being, they better broaden their scope on some of these receivers that they're looking for, because they look like they're going to be a receiver or two shy to start week 1. And you don't want to go to Seattle without a full complement of weapons.
Well, their starters week 1 probably will be Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings. And I don't know what we can expect from Jawan Jennings if coming off this injury or this off season where he's not doing anything. So, and then your number 3 receivers, who? Russell Gage, Robbie Chosen. I don't even know. So yeah, that it is concerning, because it seems like some of these injuries could affect week 1, which was, you want to win that game. It's the Seahawks. They're not that good. It's a divisional game. If you lose that one, that's a tough one. Then you have to go on the road again and face the Saints. I don't know. This Niners team is interesting because they lack so much depth that they could lose to the Saints if certain players aren't healthy. But they could beat, they could run the table on their schedule if they have great injury luck, which it doesn't seem like they ever have.
I put out a thing today. Drake Jackson was taken like 2 picks in front of Nick Bonito. I mean, they play the same position the whole day. I mean, how much better would the Niners be? Forget all these other mistakes they made in the Trey Lance trade. If they just drafted Nick Bonito instead of Drake Jackson, they probably are worlds better off today than they actually are. It just kind of shows how important the draft really is. What did you think? I didn't hear your
real quick to your point. I think the problem with the Niners, they're a well-coached team, essentially. I don't know about, I mean, on offense, on defense, it's just the front office. They've had so many whiffs, and you've brought this up so many times, but their drafting in the first 3 rounds is subpar. They've had some hits, but they've had so many flat out whiffs. And again, it's not just a Trey Lance thing. It's Dre Jackson. It's Ty Davis Price. It's Danny Gray. It's Jair Brown. It's on and on and on and on and on.
Jake Moody in the 4th round. Nick Martin. I mean, Nick
I don't
Martin.
want to write off Nick Martin, but
yeah, I mean, Nick Martin, that might be a little premature. I thought he showed some good things, but he had a rough night. He fell off a bunch of tackles. He missed a bunch of tackles. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they've missed on too many high picks, and it's starting to catch up with them if it hasn't already. And what was your takeaway? I didn't hear your post game. You did a big post game, didn't you? Mm-hmm. What was your takeaway from the game Saturday night, or what were your primary takeaways?
Well, I think one takeaway I had is that we expect this season that the offense is going to carry the team. It's an established veteran offense with a lot of guys 27 and older. And the defense is the one that's going to have 8 new starters, a bunch of guys on rookie contracts. When they talk about taking their lumps, I think they're talking about defense. But in this game and in the joint practice, it seemed like the defense is the side of the ball that has their stuff together. I mean, they did a good job against the Broncos' first-string offense for a couple of drives. They had forced a punt, and then they forced a safety. Meanwhile, the Niners' offense looked pretty much like a mess the whole way through. And there were no starters out there. But I don't know. It just felt like the depth on the offense was awful. The backup offensive linemen were awful. And then just like the timing, everything didn't work. So that doesn't mean the Niners offense will be bad, but I have a sneaking suspicion that this Niners defense is going to be better than people expect and better than the offense because they have real youth and depth on the defense. They go 8 deep on the defensive line. Niners offensive line, I mean, Jesus, if Ben Barch goes down, if Colton McKivitz goes down, there's so much trouble.
Well, I mean, to me, I think their real issue is tackle. I mean, I thought Burford looked horrible. And to me, it's not a coincidence that Andre Dillard showed up today. It's like because Burford was bad and Pleasance has gotten destroyed by speed and power. And those are supposed to be their 2 top backup tackles. I'm not that I can live with McKivitz, but if they even suffer 1 tackle injury, they're going to get their quarterback absolutely destroyed. Though I'll say this, I'm somewhat amazed by how good Mac Jones looks in a 49er uniform. I mean, that was a perfect dime on the fade route, the corner fade or whatever, post fade to Watkins. I mean, he just dropped that right in his lap over the defender, perfectly layered in there. It's just like Mac Jones. I don't know if Mac Jones's agent told him, look, man, if we get you to San Francisco and you get with Shanahan and you suck, it's all over for you. Somebody looks like they've told him it's now or never because this guy is playing the best football I've seen him play since he was at Bama. He looks great.
I like to watch. I mean, I'm pulling for him the way I pull for Trey Lance. I mean, any quarterback that's gone through hell and suffered, I think your heart goes out to a little bit, and both of them. But Mac Jones in particular, he was really embarrassed in New England, and it felt like he was set up to fail with Matt Patricia and all that stuff. Anyway, it's nice to see him in a system that suits him. It's nice to see a guy who got humbled sort of refind his confidence, and he's come out and talked to us a couple of times. And there's a real person there. I like him. He seems like a natural leader. He seems like maybe not as naturally confident as Brock, because Brock is off the charts with his poise and maturity and confidence. But Mac is a sleeper. I like him a lot, and I think he's great fit for the scheme. And just because he struggled a little bit in this preseason game, he was playing behind this backup offensive line against a starting defense. I mean, damn. I still think there's something there with him, and the fact that he's going to be here for 2 years instead of 1, I think bodes well for him as well. He needs to be here as long as possible and rebuild his confidence. I think this is the right place for him.
It is amazing watching him in Lance. If I said, hey, you gotta put every penny you have on some quarterback from the 21 draft winning a Super Bowl as a starter,
maybe Mac.
I mean,
Maybe Mac.
It can't be Trevor Lawrence, right? And I wouldn't say Zach Wilson. I wouldn't say Fields. To me, it's Trey
Lance or Mac, because they're in good situations now. They're in good situations. Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, and we're going to see these guys compete on the field in 2 weeks. It's going to be something.
I had a thought with Trey Lance.
Yeah,
what if instead of him like entering the draft at 20 years old, which was a huge mistake, if he had transferred to Michigan and just played for Jim Harbaugh 4 years ago?
Yeah,
that's what he should have done.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I'll say this too about Trey Lance. I mean, he still was 50% completion this game, but he's running.
Yeah.
He's making plays. He seems like he's a good
not
fit
making
in that offense.
Mistakes.
Yeah, he seems like he's got a new lease on life. I hope it works out because, my take at the end was that, Trey was not ready to start and that Brock was more ready to start. But I wasn't in that camp of, there are a lot of people that were in this camp of Trey's a bust. Trey's going to suck. Trey's career's done. It's not just Brock's better right now. It's like Trey is bad and is going to be bad forever. And it's not, if I really felt that way, I would have said it, but I just didn't feel that way. To me, my thing is like, if you're smart enough, and I think he is, if you're athletic enough, and I think he is, and if you want it enough, you'll get there. I mean, it may take, you may be a grizzled vet like Alex Smith or Vinny Testaverde, and took them a while, right? I mean, this was the way, I mean, this Sam Darnold. I mean, if you want to go back to like your dad's era or, even my era where the Stablers, the Staubachs, the Bradshaws, these guys all sucked. Steve Young wasn't good until he was 31 years old. I mean, really good in the NFL. So, I mean, we're just in this instant gratification world. And if you're not good immediately, it's like everybody's just like in a rush to say he sucks and he'll always suck.
Which is strange because the book on Lance is that he's a project. He's green. Right. And I think the thing that's so interesting about Purdy is that he exceeded his expectations. He exceeded the book on. He's so much more special than anyone really thought he would be. I mean, let's linger on Brock for a second because Trey's great. And I mean, he's not great, but we're pulling for Trey. It's a great story and he's in a good situation. But watching Mac and then watching Brock throws a little too many picks in practice and it kind of annoys me, but he is special. He's not a great quarterback, but he's damn good. That's what Robert Saleh says. He's damn good. He's a playmaker. He can move around. He basically gets away from pressure a lot. He doesn't take a bunch of sacks. He can reduce the picks a little bit, but that comes with experience. The Niners are blessed to have Brock Purdy. They could do better, and maybe they overpaid him. I mean, sure, you could do better. You could have Joe Burrow or something, but still, he's a hell of a quarterback, and he's a lot of fun to watch. Jimmy was never fun to watch. It was boring. Brock's fun.
Well, I mean, Jimmy had so many things that he just couldn't do. Like he couldn't turn his back to the defense on like kind of play action. He couldn't when he turned back around, he had to like stare at the field for 3 seconds. So it's like he was all, he just looked uncomfortable.
He wasn't processing at a very high level.
Greg Cosell would be like, he's not a good late in the down thrower, which in other words, if like the play that Kyle called for him in the huddle didn't work, he was cooked. He was totally cooked. And it was like a negative play was coming most likely. So yeah, no, I mean, Purdy is, he's going to have to show that last year was the aberration, that the real Brock Purdy is 22 and 23. Because he wasn't as good last year, and his clock was sped up.
Total like understandable circumstances, right? So many injuries. He's trying to get the extension, and he does a little too much. Like, what young man can't relate to that? But now he's got the extension. He's got the wisdom. We'd like to see him rein it back in and play like he did before.
I asked Shanahan today what stood out to you about the offense, and he said, I thought we blocked better than I thought we blocked when I was watching it live. And then he shouted out Corey Kiner. He said Kiner ran really hard. That
guy's going to make the team?
Yeah, I mean, Kiner to me looks really good. I like Kiner. I mean, how come the Niners do this repeatedly? They draft 2 backs, and the second guy always is better than the first guy. That's been the rule. And I'm not saying Jordan James is a bum because I think Jordan James has a little talent for sure. But I've liked Kiner more for a while.
It seems like Kiner has more elusiveness than Jordan James. Jordan James seems like a small Jordan Mason, where he's kind of no nonsense, get downhill, bring the contact, get some yards after. But it's like, man, this is the NFL, and you're 5'9", 205, man. You're built like Elijah Mitchell. Good luck. Whereas like Corey Kiner is much more, now you see me, now you don't, which fits his body type. He's the same body type as Jordan James. And, look, maybe Jordan James is really good, but if you're hurt all the time, then you're not really an NFL football player. And Corey Kiner's the one who's been out there every day. They ran him. I mean, they ran him down in that preseason game, and he popped back up and was here today. So hats off to Corey Kiner. Looks like a football player.
To me, Corey Kiner looks really good. He's got balance.
He might be the second best running back on the team, Larry.
I think he is.
I think he is.
I think Garendo is intriguing, but this guy's got to me, this is Elijah Mitchell. Like if you get a 10-point lead with 8 minutes left, you should hand it to Corey Kiner, not McCaffrey, because what Corey Kiner is going to do is he's going to fight and claw, twist and spin and turn and just get every yard. He's not going to have negative yardage for plays. He's not going to fumble. He's going to be reliable between the tackles. He's an efficient, get every yard kind of a guy. And I think he's kind of showing that you can finish with Corey Kiner. And that, to me, that's exciting because you got to finish with somebody not named McCaffrey.
Also, the Niners always do this. They give their rookie running back the number 49, and it's just hurts your eyes. They did it with Garendo last year. They did it with Matt Breida when he was a rookie. Then they make the team and they switch him to a really cool number like 31 or 22. So when Kiner gets a better number, people are going to like him more because 49 right now is just not doing him any justice. Just wait until he's something really cool like 24.
Exactly. Okay. How about secondary wise? What is your thought on the secondary? Because, the secondary, there's a bunch, like one of the things that I saw today is that I was looking at some of the PFF numbers from the game, and PFF lists Trey Brown as the best Niner grade on Saturday night. They gave him a 93.5 grade. He played 22 snaps. There's a lot of faces in that secondary. Yeah, I mean, has Trey Brown opened your eyes? Because I haven't noticed him at all.
Sorry, Trey. No, I'm sorry. No, I don't think he's going to make the team. I think he's gotten passed up. Darrell Luter Jr. had that like brain fart that was bad, but I think when he's been in man-to-man coverage, he's been good. He had that nice pass breakup in the end zone. He's young. He's big. He should make the team. Dallas Flowers seems like he's been pretty good. Yeah. Jacob Robinson may not make the team, but if he's on the practice squad, that's a nice player to develop. Chase freaking Lucas. Shout out to Chase. Him? He was phenomenal, man. I mean, I never took him seriously. He's always the guy talking hella loud. You know what I'm talking about, right? He's the loudest guy in the locker room. And I'm like, man, who are you? We're trying to interview the people who matter, and you're yelling. But now it's like, okay, you matter. All right. We like it. All right, you got a whole thing going. He's the Energizer Bunny of the team. He's cool. I like Chase Luke. And then he might start week 1. We don't know what's going on with Upton Stout. They said it's a calf injury. That means God knows on the 49ers.
Yeah. I mean, that could be it. We may never see him again.
Who knows?
You know what? You mentioned that the backup offensive line looked bad. And that was my thought too, right? But then I'm looking at the PFF numbers, okay? And Drew Moss, the right guard, earned the highest pass blocking grade, 83.7. Connor Colby had the highest run blocking grade on the team, 73.3.
You called that when they drafted him.
And not only that, 0 pressures allowed for Colby in 21 pass block snaps. So despite the fact that Colby has gotten his kicked in a lot of the one-on-ones, what Furster said,
that doesn't really matter though.
Furster's like, he's really good as a pass blocker. He's not as good right now as a run blocker. Yeah. And I thought, Chris, that's the opposite of what the book was. The book was great run blocker, not a good pass blocker. Chris compared him, Grant, to Dom Pooney and said that like Dom Pooney last year, they felt like they had a player in Pooney who could play right away because he could pass block. And he said that we think we got a player that can play right away in Colby because he can pass block. Mm-hmm. So I'll say this. If John Lynch wants to have a different vibe around, the job that he's doing, it would really help if Connor Colby became a starting guard opposite Dom Pooney, and suddenly he could be like, yeah, you know what? in the last 2 drafts without using a high pick, I've drafted our future guard tandem. Because Colby, I talked to Colby after the game. He's very aw shucks Iowa farm boy. He doesn't want to talk, but he is efficient. And I think he's played a lot of football, and it shows. I think he's a find.
They're going to need him too. Nothing against Ben Bartch, but he's never played a full season in his entire NFL career. And he got injured just a month ago lifting weights. So the Niners have to be prepared for life with and without Ben Bartch. And I don't think Nick Zakelj is the answer at left guard. I don't think Spencer Burford is the answer at left guard. If it's Connor Colby, then great. I think this guy might end up being their starting left guard by the end of the season. And I don't know, Drew Moss could be their starting center down the line. I mean, that'd be great if they got these interior linemen late. But it'd be so nice if they could get a tackle who could play, because Trent's not playing a full season. You're not. And you're 4-12 without him since 2020. So, I mean, is Andre Dillard the guy? It's got to be Andre Dillard. It's got to be. We were watching him together. He's more fluid in pass protection. He has better feet, better hands than Spencer Burford at left tackle.
Yeah, bigger. I mean, he just looks like a tackle. Burford doesn't look like a tackle. This guy looks like a tackle. This guy, the book on Dillard is he's a great pass blocker, not a good run blocker. But, the bottom line is you have to be able to pass block at tackle in this league, or you can't play. And your quarterback.
That was the book on Jalen Moore, too.
Yeah, it was. He was a pass blocker who couldn't run block. Yep. He got paid $30 million.
You're left tackle. You need to be able to pass block. It's kind of a non-negotiable.
Look at this. I'm going to share the screen because you mentioned Zakelj. This is the dime from Mac Jones to Watkins. Look at Zakelj. 98, I think, is who was 98 for Denver? Was that John? Was it the 3-name guy, John Humphrey, whatever?
I'm not sure.
Anyway,
Zakelj at right guard here.
This is Nick Zakelj right here.
Okay.
Mac Jones. This guy, Zakelj Grant, is going to get destroyed. Here it is.
Oh, boy.
And this is beautiful by Mac because he throws a dime despite, he heard this, but he didn't, and he felt it, but he didn't. It didn't. Guys that I can remember that went from guard to tackle. There's lots of guys who went from tackle to guard, but I don't remember anybody going from guard to tackle. It's like, why would you play guard if they pay tackles way more? Why would you play guard if you're really a good tackle? You wouldn't.
He played tackle in college. They moved him to guard, and it was like, well, why are you moving him? Well, we think he's better suited to play guard. Right. So why are you moving back to tackle? Well, we're desperate.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So that's a concern. What did you think about practice today? Anything stand out to you today at practice?
I think it's cool that Marquise Siegel was in the starting lineup today. I mean, he was, to me, the big standout of the rookies, the guy that we didn't know what he was going to do, couldn't see what kind of tackler he was going to be in practice. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, he's the first guy to the ball. He's around every play. And now he's starting, and Jair Brown was with the second team defense. Like, good. No offense to Jair, but good. It seems like Jair's been a step behind the play for a year, and Marquise Siegel is right there. Now it's like you have some real speed and violence at safety. Him and Pinnock seem solid. Him and Mustafa would be better. But I just feel like this defense has depth all of a sudden, which is Tatum Bethune was good. Sebastian Valdez is good. The defense has depth. This is going to be a good defense, I think.
Well, whoever's picking the defensive players picked some good players. I mean, the first thing that jumps out is look at how many good rookies there are here. I mean, we've even mentioned Jacob Robinson or Canteen or any of these guys. They all played pretty well. So I mean, there's a lot of good rookies. I mean, it's a really good rookie class. And you're right, defensively, they got some guys. The guy to me that I went home and was like, whoa, when I watched it again was Tatum Bethune.
Yeah,
dude, Tatum Bethune.
Yep.
It's funny. Yep. I interviewed him last December, and he said to me, he's like, yeah, I need to change my body and this and that. And I wasn't sure who talked to him or whatnot. He was 5'11", 230. He obviously had some college bad weight on him. He was maybe a step and a half slow. He didn't run a good 40 time.
He was like the guy with the t-shirt on and the pool guy. He was t-shirt on the pool guy.
Right. And then somebody said to him, bro, if you get in shape and you learn this defense, there's two elements there that are both going to make you faster. And he did. And he showed up this year. He's in better shape. He knows the defense. He's playing fast. He's now a baller. He now is a player. He now is a guy who I think is good enough to play. I mean, I would not, like a year ago, if you put him out there, they would have isolated him in a pass play and they would have burned him. Now he's gained a half step or more in speed. He looked phenomenal. That guy, I think, is going to be a player for them. I really do. I really think he has got starter potential.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who's
Aziz Al-Shaair.
Yeah.
Aziz Al-Shaair. Like,
who's
maybe not
naturally
necessarily
faster.
the best athlete, but he will knock you the fuck out.
Right.
I like him. I like him a lot. He should play. He
Well,
might be better than D. Winters. I mean, maybe not in coverage, but like just in terms of stopping the run, dude is good.
Dude, I when I worked in the Canadian League, I worked with this coach, and he'd be like, Larry, let me tell you about football players. Let me tell you, they all got different motivation. And I'd be like, Coach, tell me about it. He's like, some guys show up for the greenbacks. Some guys show up for the girls. He goes, and then there's a few guys that just show up to fuck shit up. and you know what? That's Tatum Bethune, man. Mm-hmm. He shows up to just F stuff up, and
it's like if you're trying to replace Greenlaw, then that's kind of what you gotta you need to find a guy who wants to fuck shit up.
Yes.
But after the whistle, on the sideline, big Dom, like you're looking for the ultimate dog in your defense. And look, man, I don't know if it's D. Winters. He's a good player and he's athletic, but he hasn't shown that level of craziness
or violence. Yeah.
He's not violent. That's what you want, unhinged behavior.
Yeah. And Bethune has added kind of the way Brock Purdy added just enough arm strength to go from he doesn't have a good enough arm to he's got just good enough arm. I think Bethune's that guy. Last year he was not fast enough. This year he's got just enough speed to be just fast enough, and that's going to help him make some money. I think he's going to be really good.
Yep.
Today the Niners made some transactions.
I'm so excited about this defense. I'm so glad Robert Saleh is back. It was hard last year with Nick Sorensen being like, well, this is stupid. You got Nick Sorensen and Brandon Staley. It's a ridiculous combination. The whole season is like, man, they're doing okay, but it's not going to work. But now it's like, no. I have complete confidence in this. Even if it's not elite right away, I feel like by the end of the season, when Mustafa's back and these rookies have gotten some experience, it's going to be a top 10 defense. I think it's going to be a top 10 defense.
You know, Robert Saleh looks at a guy like Chase Lucas, and instead of saying, you know what, he's not a great cover guy, he blitzes him.
Yep.
He's like, you know what, this guy's a mad dog. This guy's a madman. This guy's a maniac. He'll, and I talked to him in the locker room afterwards, and, the guy's a character. Let me see if I can play this for you. The guy is
Saleh had, this was in a fucking preseason game. Saleh had on third down, fronts were like, everyone's on the line of scrimmage except for one safety who's like 7 yards off the ball. And
I saw that.
Anyone could, literally any of those 11 players could blitz, and you don't know who's coming or who's dropping. You gotta love. Where the fuck was that last year?
I know.
And that's like standard. You see that all across the league, and in Baltimore and Seattle, like that's cutting edge defensive schematic football. It's not the Niners were just rushing forward last year. This is a whole different thing. They just might be good this year. Despite all these preseason injuries, they just might be good. Because when they're really good, it's because of their defense. It's because of their defense. Their offense can be great, but with that offensive line, you can't really dictate and dominate the way that this defense can when they're healthy.
It's a defense that looks like it's got players on all three levels. Now, you can't lose Demo.
Nope.
You can't lose Warner. And you can't lose Bosa. And if you lose those guys, it could start to get out of hand. Things could look bad.
Yep.
But if those three, foundation pieces stay healthy, the Rams' second team defense wasn't very good last year, but guess what? They stayed healthy. We never saw their second team D.
The Niners defense is better than that Rams defense. That Rams defense, they have a good pass rush. Their linebackers are trash. Akello Witherspoon plays for them. They rank like 26th in yards given up. No. Then this Niners defense is going to be right there with what they're building in Seattle. And Arizona is interesting as well because Jonathan Gannon's a good coach, and they went and brought in Calais Campbell and Josh Sweat, but Robert Saleh's better than Jonathan Gannon. And Fred Warner's still here. Nick Bosa's still here, and Lenore's really, really good. No, I'm excited for this.
I love how Robert Saleh looked at us the other day, and he said, you know what? Because somebody asked him, did you know what you were getting yourself into? Which is such an insulting question. Yeah. Think about it. No, dude, I was totally duped. I came here thinking I was going to have
my face, and then afterward, I was like, oh, shit, what am I working with?
Yeah, they lied to me. lied. Yeah. These guys all lied. Can you imagine? That would be awesome if all of a sudden it was that kind of drama. But did you know what the story was? And he's like, of course. Yeah, I knew. I fully knew.
I wasn't going to agree to come here unless they gave me some assurances.
Right. But have you noticed, Grant, when we're at practice, when you look at the middle of the field, the brain trust of this team is Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and Robert Saleh.
Yep.
Those are the three guys.
Bradley sprinkled in.
A little bit of Gus Bradley from time to time, but it's those three guys. Robert Saleh has a seat at the table. He has a seat at the big boy table. But what I loved about him was what he said to us. He's like, yeah, I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew. And he goes, and he looked at us, and in like total confidence, he's like, we're gonna do it again. In other words, what he means is we had a shitty team that we inherited. We built it into a team that was good enough to go to the Super Bowl on the defensive side of the ball, and it needs to be rebuilt again, and we're going to do it again. But he said it wasn't like we hope to do it again. We're going to try to do it again. How many times did Sorensen say something about effort? God. We're going to try. Don't try. Losers try. Get it done. Get it done. In a
respectful, subtle way, Saleh's the head coach of this team. He's the emotional core of this team. And what's funny is they bring him in and they want to make changes. And they're like, look, Kyle, you just keep your offense the way it is. We need to remake the defense and special teams. Robert, do you have any ideas? And he's like, yeah, we can bring in a bunch of special teamers from New York. I know Thomas Morstead and Brand Boyer. I'll handle that. And then when it comes to the draft, just give me the first 6 picks. Well, right. They're like, whatever you want, Robert. Is he not the one sort of with the vision for the future of this team right now? It seems like it is.
There's no doubt. Yeah. Look at the infusion of the youth that's on that side of the ball. Don't think for a second he didn't handpick those guys. And not only that, he also has a good eye for just like today. Today they signed Trevis Gibson. All right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people would say, who's Trevis Gibson? We played with the Bears. He's 28-year-old defensive lineman, but he's 260 pounds. He's a good pass rusher. This guy had 7 sacks in 2021. It's not like he's some stumble bum. This guy's got some talent. He ran with the ones today and tipped a pass that I believe got picked off by Nick Bosa. Yeah.
And isn't it so cool that like Robert Saleh is actually scouting that deeply? He's bringing in guys from the UFL. He's bringing in guys from God knows where. Meanwhile, not to dump on Kyle. Not to dump on Kyle, but like you brought back Jeff Wilson Jr. That's the best you can do. I mean, the Dolphins need a running back. And they were like, not Jeff Wilson. Like, he's done. And you brought him in. Why? Because he knows the system. Because you know him. Come on, man. Where's your UFL signing on offense? Like, you work harder. No offense to Jeff Wilson Jr., but that just felt like a Nepo hire again. Like, you know the guy. He knows your system. You got to do better than that.
I mean, I totally agree. Not only, the other one was Keyshawn Vaughn. It's almost like Kyle is saying, you know what? I don't want to coach anybody. I just want to bring in guys who I can plug in. Yes, I don't want to coach a young guy. I want a guy who knows my system.
The opposite.
Saleh's like, hey, I'm a teacher. I'm going to teach my system to my guys. Get me young, promising. I'll say this. Another guy who had a really good game the other night was Bradley Anae. He had a really good game. I was looking at some of the PFF
I thought you were going to say Carter Bradley for a second. I was like, Larry, I have to disagree with
you. No. Carter Bradley. If you try to say anything good about Carter Bradley,
I'm sorry, Carter.
Yeah, you might as well just. And Bradley Anae, though, was the Niners' highest graded defensive lineman. He posted a 69.6 defensive grade and the second best run defense grade, second to only Chase Lucas at 84.
Better player than Robert Beal.
Bradley Anae had 3 pressures from the defensive end spot.
He had some pass rush moves. He was winning around the edge. He was winning with power. Maybe he's this year's Sam Okwonu.
He's slow according to the stopwatch, but
doesn't matter.
Robert Saleh was like, hey, man, I had this guy in New York. He was going to make a really good Jets D line, and then he tore his ACL. And he looked at me. He's like, he's a really good player. And guess what he is? He's a really good player.
Yep.
He's a really good player.
Saleh seems to know what he's doing. It's interesting. Now, it didn't work out in New York. He hitched his wagon to Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, and that just didn't work out.
That's why
he doesn't have. Now he's got Brock. If he had Brock in New York, if he had Kyle Shanahan as OC in New York, he'd still be coaching over there.
No doubt.
Yeah.
How concerned are you about the durability of Ricky Pearsall? There was a play today in practice where they led Pearsall over the middle, and he kind of alligator armed it. And there was no big collision. There was no anything. But this is the kind of ball that I'm concerned about him. I'm concerned about how, is he that all-time people say he's Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman, come on, man. Julian Edelman's tough. Like one of the toughest guys of all time.
Yeah.
I'm a little, I'll say this about, you mentioned Wilson. I thought Wilson looked terrible today. And the one concern I have about Pearsall is just, can he live in the middle of the field?
Who's Wilson?
Jeff Wilson. I thought Jeff Wilson looked terrible.
I already forgot about Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
No,
you mentioned Jeff Wilson.
I thought Jeff Wilson looked they've been trying to get the ball to Pearsall over the middle for the last 3-4 days. And it's like dangerous because he can jump. He doesn't have long arms and he's not the most physical guy. So it feels like he's almost bracing for the hit as he goes up for it. And the ball tips off his hand, or someone's on his hip and he needs to make a break and he falls. I see that one a lot. It's like, as long as he gets a free release and there's no contact, you can't cover him. But it's the NFL and they're going to be all over you, man, especially if you're over the middle. So it seems like he's more the kind of guy you want running deep crossing routes from one side of the field to outside the numbers, or, fades and stuff. And that's not really the best fit for this offense because it's all about being over the middle. So they need Ayuk and Jennings back so badly. And I saw Ayuk after the game. The dude was in the best mood. Who knows why? He seemed like he was so disgruntled a year ago. Now maybe he's like, man, they freaking need me. And I haven't felt wanted in a long time, despite the contract. But I'm gonna feel wanted in a second because they need me. I wonder if Jennings feels the same way.
Well, it's like, are they going to have these guys this year? I mean, is Jennings going to be healthy? Is Ayuk going to get healthy? I mean, are they going to have these guys? I'm wondering. Two last things before we call it.
Reminds me of
who's that?
Pettis, but a much better version. But Pettis, sleek, kind of a punt returner, can do a little bit of everything. But you don't want to throw him the ball over the middle because he's a finesse receiver. He's tougher than Pettis, faster than Pettis, better than Pettis. But in that a super Pettis.
God, I'm trying to think about who does he remind me of. It's hard because it's like he's got good skills. Mm-hmm. I'll say this: what I love most about Ricky is how. As Ricky as a guy, because Ricky as a guy is like really hard on himself. He really wants to be not just good, but great.
Pettis wasn't like that.
He's not an excuse maker. He's not soft.
Pettis wasn't an excuse maker.
Yeah, I mean, Pettis, I think, was soft and kind of an excuse maker. Yeah. I think this guy is more like,
he's tough.
I feel like he holds himself to higher standards than we hold him to.
I agree.
So I don't know about him.
I like him, but
I like him too, but I wonder if he can.
The durability. If they're going to throw all those balls over the middle, I wouldn't bet on it. So they got to be smart on how they use them.
Yeah. I asked Kyle a question. I got to throw it to you. I said to Kyle, do you need to play your core 7 guys? Figure Purdy, CMC, Kittle, Trent, Bosa, Warner, and Demo. Okay, those are the 7 core guys. I said to Kyle, do you need to play those guys in the preseason? Could you go through the entire preseason and not play any of your core 7 guys, any snaps? And he's like, no, I'd like to play them. I'd like to play them a little bit. But I kind of believe that with as many injuries as they have, that they should not play any of their 7 guys and just trade. Yeah, there's going to be some rust maybe. I'll trade week 1 rust to make sure I've got those 7 guys. I don't know. Do you want to see their 7 stars play a little, a lot, or not at all in the preseason?
Maybe a little. I'd be okay with a little, because if you play them not at all, it kind of sends a message that you're scared of something or that you're in a desperate situation with other injuries. But not a lot. You got to be careful. And I think they were careful in the last game. Mac Jones didn't play that much because he's important. He's probably going to start 1 game this year. I mean, chances are most quarterbacks don't go 17 games. I think 14 did last year. So you're probably going to need him at some point. They got him the hell out of there. What my issue was with this game, Jordan Watkins shouldn't have been playing in the 4th quarter. Not to be a Monday morning quarterback, but agree. You knew he might be starting week 1, and you're being cautious with all the potential starters. So you kind of got to blame yourself a little bit for not being cautious enough. They got to be cautious. Yes, get Fred Warner out there for a drive or two, the way Andy Reid gets Patrick Mahomes out there for a drive or two, but make sure you freaking protect him and get him the hell out.
Now he's got an ankle sprain, and now he's had a month, and it's the cut down.
He played a lot in that. Corey Kiner played a lot in that game.
Yeah,
I mean, come on,
played a lot. Yeah, because they're running out of guys, and unfortunately, they're putting too much abuse on these guys. Last one I got for you. The Niners waived Tanner Mordecai today. To the dismay of a lot of people who were like, man, get rid of Carter Bradley. Obviously, Bradley's the son of Gus Bradley. Carter Bradley does have a great arm, but he was 6 of 14. He didn't see the linebacker. There's all these people going, that's the worst quarterbacking. Okay, first of all, I get it. It was bad, but the guy's been a Niner for less than 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Matt Ryan looked bad in this offense the first year and then won the MVP in the second year. So, maybe our expectations should be a little tempered as far as what we thought we were going to see from Bradley. But what do you think? I mean, are the Niners making a mistake by waiving Mordecai, who's got better speed, to go with Bradley? Or is it just like, you know what, they're going to waive Bradley too, and it's going to be a 2-quarterback thing, and it doesn't really matter because you're only going to keep the guy that gets through waivers, right? Yeah. And Mordecai probably isn't going to get through waivers anyway. Well, Bradley probably is. So, how bad is it to get rid of Mordecai for Bradley in your mind?
I actually think they'll both get through waivers, but it does look bad that you kept Bradley over Mordecai because Bradley isn't good, and Mordecai at least he's fast. So I wonder. To me, Mordecai looked pretty good in the preseason last year. He looks worse this year. And I wonder, is it because I got the feeling that Brian Griese really liked Mordecai, that was sort of his next pet project. And now Griese's gone. And the quarterback coach is Mick Lombardi. Anyone knows if you've been hired somewhere and your boss gets fired and you get a new boss, chances are they may not like you. They might want to push you out and bring in their own guy. And it turns out that their own guy this year is Gus Bradley's son. So my heart goes out to Tanner. I feel like he got screwed over, and I feel like Carter is not better than him. It's just that he didn't play well. Maybe he was so upset that it's like, man, they're pushing me out for Gus's kid who sucks. I mean, Trey seemed kind of depressed on the Niners. Right. I mean, emotions matter.
I think you're right, though. I think, because I asked Griese about Mordecai, and he said, hey, he's buddies. Griese said, I'm buddies with Luke Fickell, and Fickell pounded the table and told me I ought to go for this kid, and that's why we got him. So I think you're right. I think Mordecai was a Griese guy, and once Griese was there, he didn't have an advocate, and it's easy to get rid of anybody.
Jair Brown and Darrell Luter Jr. were Steve Wilkes guys, and he's gone. Now look at him.
Yeah. Last one. Why are the 49ers always the most injured team in the NFL under Shanahan? And I ask this question because Warren Sharp put out these stats. In 6 of Shanahan's 7 seasons since 2018, his team has finished in the top 10 as far as most injured. The Niners have been the most injured team 2 years, 24 last year and 20. They were the most injured team in all of football. Why is there something that the Niners are doing or not doing that is causing them they've been 4th, 6th, 3rd. They've been the most injured twice. I mean, they are consistently one of the most injured teams in pro football. Why?
Okay. If I had the answer for this question, they would give me $1 million. I think the real takeaway here is that it's complicated. There's a lot of factors, but it's been going on for about 10 years. And we could say for sure that the Niners haven't figured out the answer. They haven't. And that's a big problem. I mean, it seems to me that the Broncos came to town. They do static stretching. We saw them do it before practices, before the game. The Niners don't. So that's one variable. Then there's just the fact that the Niners often invest in players who already are injured. Michael Williams, injured all of last year. They signed him, thought he'd be healthy. He's not. So there's so many different things that go into it, but it feels like it once again goes to the feet of the head coach. And if you don't have a solution after all this time and you keep losing, I don't want to hear the injury excuse anymore. Let's find someone else who can actually fix this, because you can't and I can't. And if I did, man, I'd be a good head coach, Larry. I think players would run through a brick wall for me. I'm inspirational.
Is there a lack of? Is it lack of stretch? I mean, they have to be stretching, right? They're not. It's not that they don't stretch. They have to be stretching. They have to be stretching inside or something. Come on, they don't just.
But everybody just rolls out to practice. Organizational review, like, hey, we suck at this. Let's look at every freaking variable and take nothing for granted. But it seems like they're like, you know what? It's bad luck. I don't know about that. I wonder.
I mean, it makes me wonder about their practices.
But when you trade up for a guy like Isaac Guerrendo, who's hurt constantly in college, and then he gets hurt in the NFL, it's like, well, maybe it's Isaac Guerrendo.
I do believe that if there's one thing I would point to is like guys who have been hurt usually are going to be hurt. So like try to get guys who played a full complement of games in college. And then if they're hurt in the pros, well, you know what?
That's why the Michael pick is kind of scary. It's like, man, you thought that ankle wouldn't be an issue, but it is. It is. And now the knee's an issue.
Right. And then the other thing about the Mikel thing is like, yeah, you know, it's just an ankle, but he's better. But then he's wincing and he's still touching it and grabbing it. And it's obviously bothering him. And it's like,
he's not going to talk about it.
He doesn't want to talk about it, but it's like, you see, how much time is he going to, can he get out there on a regular basis? I mean, guys who, you know, there's an old saying, guys who love to play find their way into the lineup. Yep. Guys who don't love to play find their way out. And
look, Michael seems like he's the kind of guy who's going to play hurt. But you know what? If he's hurt all the time, he's not going to be great. We need him to be healthy.
He needs to be healthy. Yeah. All right, let's hit some supers and we'll jet. Clarence Beeks in the house. We're SOL, bro. Sup, Grant?
Shit out of luck? Come on.
Clarence
Christian's
Beeks.
Still healthy. You're good.
Do you know what the Clarence Beeks, where the name comes from? Clarence
Beeks?
I don't. He was in the movie Trading Places.
Oh.
There was this guy who was he was a prick bastard, and he was the villain in Trading Places. Was a guy. Okay. He went by Clarence Beeks.
I gotta watch that.
Greg Argasi says, "Who the F is the Mameluke strength and conditioning coach? Fire him or them. This is ridiculous. Niner fan since '81, and I've never seen this." I mean, the Niners have to be one of the most cursed franchises as far as injuries. I mean, seriously, these guys could get 3 guys hurt at a team picture.
Oof.
I mean, I'm not even joking. I mean, somebody probably goes down in the lunchroom. Joseph Ernberg, Grant, did you know Lynch was behind you last night? I was doing
my instant reaction. You know what I'm like when I like standing, like
I heard you say that.
And John and Parag walked by me. I'm like, oh fuck. And I had been like, Nick Martin was completely lost out there. You know how I like get a little excited and I'm like projecting and shit. All of a sudden I get real quiet. And I'm like, damn. Yeah, you know, it's the truth. I don't know. That's what happened.
Did they hear you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they heard you. Something tells me you're probably not on the Christmas card list.
Yeah, maybe not.
Rob Schneider, Joel Embiid is the personal trainer. Yeah, great. Yeah, he's only out half the year with microfracture surgeries and everything else. L. Kurtz 3611 says this coaching regime is cursed and negligent. Blame is on Lynch.
Fans are starting to turn on the coaches. Forever it was Jimmy's fault. It's Jimmy's fault. It's Trey's fault. Kyle. Now it's Kyle's fault. People love Brock, and they're not going to put this on Brock if the Niners go 6-11 this year. It's going to be on Kyle. He better know that.
It's not going to
be on Saleh either.
I told you my 15-year-old last night or this morning as I'm leaving. Hey, Dad. What's going on? Did you see the game? Yeah. And I said, Chris, what'd you think? What'd you think of the game? He's like, they're never going to win with this regime, Dad. I'm like, wow. He's been watching them since he's 6 years old. He would know. My 15-year-old has had enough.
Yeah.
Okay. We got that one. We got this one. Here we go. All day, every day, Kim. Kyle's a schmuck for not developing Trey, an offensive genius who has a mental disability when it comes to quarterbacks. Get Kyle a handicap pass.
Wow, that was angry. I do say that there's a difference between Kyle and Sean Payton. Both are great play callers, but Sean Payton can evaluate the quarterback position, develop the quarterback position in a way that Kyle hasn't necessarily shown that he can. He got kind of lucky with Brock. He didn't know.
I think Kyle is a very good play caller, play sequencer. As far as like quarterback whisperer, developer of quarterbacks, I don't think Mike developed quarterbacks.
No, he did not.
Mike got the best out of Steve Young. Mike got the best out of late career John Elway.
Didn't develop Steve Young.
He didn't develop Steve Young.
But he gave him a good system.
He gave him a good system.
You know,
he's a great play caller.
He gave Jake Plummer a good system.
Right.
Yeah.
Kyle is a very good play caller. I think he's a really good play sequencer. I think his offense works like better than Jim Harbaugh's offense works, for example. But
Yeah.
I think like if you say Kyle Shanahan, Jim Harbaugh, which is an offensive genius? I'd probably say Shanahan's a bigger offensive genius, but Jim has got hires great coaches and he wins. He wins.
Yeah, Kyle's offense is much flashier. It'll rank higher in terms of yards per play and EPA, but it's also a little bit more risky. All those play action passes, layered passes over linebackers in front of safeties. If you get those wrong, they're interceptions, and Jim's all about not beating yourself. The thing with Kyle was, again, I'm not the biggest Kyle guy. Hell of a coach, but when he loses, he tends to beat himself. And Harbaugh, the reason he doesn't lose very much is he often doesn't beat himself. And I think in the NFL, more games are lost than won. Is that fair? That's how I feel. I think that's how Jim feels.
I think Kyle is a better play caller with a more explosive offense, but I think Jim Harbaugh is a much better game manager. And he, all I would say is the common denominator of many of Kyle's biggest defeats are he just needs to run the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
He gets pass happy and he gets away from the run.
In the third quarter with a lead in the big game, he's going pass, pass, pass. And I don't know why. I don't think he knows why.
Yes. I mean, there will be, here's the other thing too. If Jim Harbaugh comes out on the first drive and runs it down your throat, guess what's happening on the second drive? More of the same. But if Kyle comes out and runs the ball down your throat, in the second drive, he may just decide to throw it around.
He's like that guy in Princess Bride. He's like, you think that I'm going to keep running the ball, so I'm going to pass it. But you think that I'm going to pass because you think that it's like, dude, you're so far in your own head right now. You just need to do what's working.
Yeah. Make them stop it. How about that? If they fire L. Kurtz is if they fire Kyle, hire Saleh as the head coach. Saleh's going to be a head coach.
Not be mad at that. I wonder if Saleh would do that though. He's a very loyal person.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
It would feel like
to be a unique situation. Yeah. It would have to be very unique. Flip and Shrub, opinions on Huff's performance in the game. Did you like what you saw or did he underperform? Is he talking about Hufanga?
Bryce.
Oh, Bryce Huff.
Yeah, the new Huff.
I actually thought I liked what I saw from Bryce Huff as far as as a run defender. I expected him to be kind of a zero as a run defender, and I felt like he's going to put his nose in there and try to push back against the run. I also think he is the best edge rush speed rusher I've seen opposite Bosa. Really since D Ford and maybe even including D Ford because the
D Ford was always hurt.
Yeah, he wasn't quite the Kansas City D Ford, and he never was the Auburn D Ford here. So I would say I like Huff a lot, and I think Huff is going to be very valuable.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be how Robert Saleh uses him. He's going to be very exotic and creative on third down. He's mostly going to play on third down, Huff, and I can't wait to see all the different ways that Saleh's going to use him.
Yeah. What is this? What is it? Lillant 2-1-2.
AJ Jenkins and Rashawn Woods are two of them.
The biggest wide receiver bust the Niners have ever drafted.
Have you never heard of? Is AJ Jenkins that long ago? I guess it is. 13 years ago. It feels like yesterday, man.
Trent Baalke put AJ Jenkins' name in an envelope.
Dude, this is what happened. So it was at that pre-draft press conference, and they had like the 30th pick in the draft, 31st, and someone said, "Do you know who you're going to draft?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." And they're like, "You do?" He was like, "Oh yeah, we wrote the guy's name down. His name is in an envelope. We're ready to send it in right now." And it sounded so cool at the time, and it was like, "Oh, because you know for a fact that no one would ever dream of taking him here, and you're going to reach for this bum." Cool. He said it was I think he was coming off the year where he was executive of the year and he was feeling himself.
He was.
Put in an envelope.
Because I did the interview of Harbaugh and Baalke in their war room after that pick. And I absolutely am convinced that Jim Harbaugh had never seen AJ Jenkins before. I said to Harbaugh, Jim, what do you like about this guy? And he's like, yeah. We like the fact that he comes out of a real good conference. Yeah, the Big Ten. Okay, we get it. And the guy can run a little bit. He's got some speed. He had never seen this guy. I mean, I looked over at the end of the interview. I'm like, Harbaugh never saw that guy. And people that were in the room
they would do the one-on-one drills. When I say that he never won, Larry, He never won. And then in 11 on 11s, he wouldn't get the ball. So it was like, is this the worst player on the team? I mean, he was that freaking bad. He went to Kansas City. I had like 10 or 15 catches, but he was terrible.
But the only thing about this question is there's so many other options. Bruce Ellington, DeAndre Smelter. Remember DeAndre Smelter? There was a guy named Johnson. Jalen Hurd. I mean, there's been Dante. I'd probably say Dante Pettis.
He was picked high.
Yeah, I mean, Dante Pettis with his blue hair.
No pressure, Ricky. First round pick.
Yeah. I thought Bruce Ellington was going to be good. There's probably, I thought J.J. Stokes was going to be great. So
UCLA's finest.
There you go. I remember my roommate the day in college, the day the Niners drafted J.J. Stokes. He's like, J.J. Stokes is going to the Pro Bowl. I'm like, oh my God.
He was slow.
He was slow. I mean, they timed him with a sundial. All right, that's going to do it for us. We're back at it tomorrow. Grant, what do you got cooking? You got anything else you want to promote before we bolt for the door?
Man, I'm about to eat some dinner. This show is sponsored by the dinner I'm about to eat. Thank you very much.
For Grant, I'm Larry. Thanks to the 3,000 plus people watching. You guys are all great. Hit like and subscribe on both channels on your way out the door. For Grant, I'm Larry. And wait a second, I got an escape hatch. There we go. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you won't get exactly what you ask.